Yes. Now, factoring is one of these things that comes at different speeds to everyone, okay, based on your times table experience. If you need to do this, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, right? You'll get more comfortable with numbers as time goes on. Emily, I'm going to pick on you to begin with here, please. What is your M and what is your A, please?
M is 32.
Yeah.
And A is 18.
Great. I'm going to write out all the factors. If you didn't need to do this, that's fine. Okay, by the way, why did I scratch out 8 times 4? You already had 4 times 8, so you can stop there. Okay, Lexi, which ones is it going to be? 2 and 16, right? Because 2 plus 16 is 18, right? So we're going to do 2 and 16. Great. Okay, Liam, what did you next, please?
18.
Good. So I'll do this in a different color, maybe to help. Okay. So if you take a look there, right, the x squared stays the same, and the 32 stays the same. Okay, guys, please. The x squared stays the same, the 32 stays the same, but the 18 changed to 2x plus 16x. I could have done the other way, 16x plus 2x, but for me, 16 and 32 go together quite nicely, better than 2 and 32, right? So you could have done the other way. All right, Noah, where do you next, please?
Oh, you need so it would be 8 in that.
Yeah.
It's x.
Yeah.
And then in brackets, x plus 2.
Great.
And then it's 16. And then in brackets, x plus 2.
Great. And let's say you say to yourself, uh-oh, 16 and 32, I can't instantly figure out what it's going to be. What should you be like looking at in this question? Like, what should your sort of goal be? Yeah.
I'm trying to make it look like the other bracket.
Definitely. So if I know that this is an x plus 2, and I have 16x, I know I have to get rid of the 16 to make it look like x, right? Okay. All right. Jessica, what's the final answer here, please?
X, oh, bracket X plus 16, bracket X plus 2.
Right.
What did you do with the 32? Why did you put X plus 2?
What's that? Okay.
X.
That's fine. That's still correct. That's still correct. Okay. The question was, what happened? Can I please talk here, guys? The question was, what happened to 32? Remember what I'm just divided both of these by 16, right? So 16 times x is 16x. 16 times 2 is 32. Right? So I just divide them both by the same number. All right, I'm going to move on to something a little more awesome. I'll do this one for you guys. I'll let you guys try one yourself after. This says x squared minus x minus 20. All right, Alistair, I'm going to pick on you first. What's my m and what's my a here, please? Yeah, now you're close. You said negative 1x. I'm just going to call that negative 1 because it's just a coefficient, right? Okay? And the m is going to be negative 20. Now, here's the thing you have to be aware of. If you're multiplying to get a negative number, what does that mean? Alan, go ahead. Yeah, sort of here. I want to put it in that. Yeah, so just so everyone heard that, ready? One has to be a plus, one has to be a minus. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out all my factors here of 20. I'm going to say 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 3 doesn't work, 4 times 5, and 5 times 4 I'm going to get rid of. Okay, so we have to find a way to end up with a negative 20 when you're multiplying, and when you add those two numbers together, you're going to add to get negative 1. Can someone be brave and tell me what those two numbers would be? Oh my goodness, what's 20 minus 1? 19, so that's definitely not going to work, okay? 4 and 5, close. You say, close. When you say 4 and 5, 4 times 5 is 20, though not negative. 4 and negative 5, okay, hold on. Very good. Just wait. Noah, why did you say 4 and negative 5? That's correct, by the way. Why did you say that?
It has to be negative.
Great. When you combine these by multiplying, right, 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1. Right? So 4 minus 5 is negative 1, and 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Right? So this is what I said, it's like a little guessing game, matching game. All right, Emily, you're up here, please. Can I get you to be brave and tell me what to write next? Oh, please try it. Please try it. Well, what I do, what is the what? All right, somebody help her. I'm gonna come back for in a moment here. Anna, go ahead.
Would it be like negative x equals 4? Wouldn't it be x squared?
Yeah. Good.
Oh, that was
It's all right. Okay, now let's make sure that everyone understands what just happened there. Once you get your two little numbers, you're going to change the middle, like the x term, into whatever the two numbers are with x's, right? So 4x minus 5x is just negative 1x. So I haven't actually cheated, right? Because 4 minus 5 is just negative 1, and that's that. Okay. All right, I'm coming back to you. Okay. Can you be brave, please? And factor the left-hand side. X squared and 4x. What do they both divide by? Good. What's left inside the bracket? Don't help her. Okay, guys, don't help her, but guys, I want you guys to try this on your own. Luke, go.
X bracket x plus 4.
Okay.
Bracket negative 5 bracket x plus 4.
Okay, good. Now let's just look at how he got that's correct, by the way. Let's make sure we know how he got that. So, distributing it out, x squared and 4x, always an x is coming on the left-hand side, always. Okay, right? Because there's an x squared and an x. There's no number here, so it's going to be plain x. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. On the right-hand side, I like what Luke said, he took out a negative 5, because he needed the x plus 4 to be x plus 4. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Yes?
What are your negative 20? If, like, out of all those numbers, are you allowed to just, like, change the, like, positive or negative? You're allowed to just change.
Right, so because you want to get negative 20, right? So what you could have said is, like, you could have said, well, will that work? Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so let's get rid of those blue ones. And said, okay, well, let's try these instead. Right, like it has to be negative 20, right? So it's got to be, you see what I'm saying, like a combination of that? Okay. All right, thank you, Luke. Hannah, what's the final step here, please?
X plus 4 x minus 5.
All right, I'm going to hit pause on the video, and I want you guys to try letter example 4 right now. There you go, x squared plus 2x minus 48. All right, pause in the video right now and give you a chance. Okay, so to finish this one up here, this one is a little bit trickier. Anyone with negatives is messy, all right? But a thing to remind yourself here, if you're multiplying to get a negative, what does that mean? If you're multiplying to get a negative. One has to be positive, one has to be negative, okay? Here's the other thing to think here, all right? If you are adding to get 2, and I'll write that down, multiply negative 48. Okay. What does adding to get 2 mean? Yeah.
That number of less than 5 has to be negative.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The bigger number will be positive, the smaller number is going to be negative. Also, since it's adding to be 2, they have to be like 2 off each other. So like 12 and negative 10, or like 8 and negative 6, or whatever, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out all my factors. And when I walked around, I saw a lot of people doing this, and that's wonderful. Oh boy, what's 3? Does 3 work?
3 times 16.
And 8 times 6. Okay, so we said here, I like the Alistair's reasoning there. He said, well, since you're, guys, can I please do this here? Alistair said, okay, well, since it's positive, okay, guys, it's very different to this here as drawing. Okay? When it says that you're adding to a positive number, that means the smaller number is going to be negative. Okay? So what I can just do here is I can make all these on the small side be negative numbers. Okay? Which one of those combinations are going to add to get 2? Go. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I make it look easy because I probably factor 25 times a day. Okay, literally, every day of my life since I was born, okay, since I became a teacher. I brought back 25 times a day, so make this look easy. This, for a lot of people, is like the most difficult part of this, okay? So since we're running low on time, I'm just gonna power through this, okay? So I'm gonna call this then equals x squared plus 8x minus 6x minus 48. I put the negatives together because I wanted to and the positives together just to make it easier. So an x is coming out of the left, and an 8x, I can't talk. Right. Okay, on Friday we'll do some more of this to get good at it. This isn't something that comes automatically, okay? You need to practice on these to make sure you get good at them, okay? If you're looking to say, yeah, I got it, wonderful. Okay, if you're saying I need a little bit more, that's fine too. If you are someone, I know there's at least one person in this class who wants to go right here in one step, please show your work in the middle stuff for now because it's going to get much more difficult the next few days. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys yet. Yes. Yes.
X squared plus 8. Why would you do that? Yeah. Are you doing like
I like factoring it because the x times x is x squared, right? X times 8 is 8x.
I know, I was working that. Yeah, but like, I don't know what burning.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Where's the 8 going? What's the 8 is
Like these two here?
yeah, no, like the ending. Like the last.
So this here or this here?
Yeah. Yeah, where does that go?
Well, because, okay, this is what I was saying before. This is like xy minus 6y, right?
So it just cancels it?
So y factors out. It gets multiplied by
Which?
Yeah, good question. Before I get back up here, sorry. Before I back up, Alistair, good question here at the front. Spencer said he'd like to do an x squared minus 6x. So the 6 and 8 you can switch. That's fine. It never makes it an issue. Again, all it's going to do is your answer will be put like this. Absolutely.
I did that same thing.
That's fine.
Sarah's winter seems alright. Is it alright if I miss it? Or do we have to be there? I didn't.